Hello everyone. Thank you everyone for joining today. I'll be presenting the session on DevOps business benefits and business value. You can mention your questions if you have any in the chat, and at the end of the session, we'll go through each question and then we'll discuss. Okay, so to start with, myself, I am Harjot Singh Sandhu from MoogleLabs. I'm the vertical head for the DevOps department. And I'll be discussing today on the DevOps benefits and the business values. Okay, so the table of the content that we are going to discuss is what actually is DevOps and what are the different departments that we cover inside the DevOps. What was the problem that led to the creation of the DevOps? What are the challenges and what are the solutions? What was the traditional architecture that the DevOps is taking over, and what are the life cycle, what are the benefits, what actually is DevSecOps, and what are the benefits of the DevSecOps, and what are the cloud platforms that we are using. We'll also discuss the few DevOps tools that we are going to use, that we use in the DevOps, and then at the end we'll also discuss what are the benefits that the DevOps bring to the business. So as per our today's economy, application economy, so businesses are actually, most of the businesses, they have the software businesses, and each of the business is depending on the software, and DevOps has become the one of the most valuable discipline for all the enterprises. With the help of DevOps, quality and speed of application development and delivery has improved to a great extent. Let's talk how the DevOps actually came. We have a lot of stories that about the DevOps region, but it's not created out of the whole cloth. Its seeds were planted many years ago and recently nurtured by expert IT professionals in several disciplines. Two primary ancestors are given below. One is ESM, which is Enterprise System Management. The people involved in the initial phase of the DevOps are mainly system administrators. These are the experts that brought the ESM practices to DevOps. And the practices are like configuration management, automated provisioning, system monitoring, and the tool chain approach. And then the second ancestor is agile development. DevOps is considered as an outgrowth of the agile. Those who are working in agile, they know that we have continuous delivery we do in the agile. So agile is actually extending DevOps. We have the two DevOps side. We have two silos. One is Dev and one is operations. So that Dev, they only consider the development part, like development of the application. That how we there are multiple programming languages, and then there are different type of the application architectures. And the Dev only facilitates only those things. They have no idea how the operations actually work. Operations are like deployment the applications to the server, handling the database, handling the servers. These are the things that the operation handle. So DevOps actually break the barrier between them and combine both the Dev and Ops. What the Dev consider is that okay, it is the responsibility of the operations to make sure that the application is up always, and the Ops, they consider that the Dev will put up the good code. They are the one, they will handle each and everything related to the code, and the Dev consider that the code will be put to the production quickly. So the DevOps is breaking the different this barrier between both of these. It is a combination of the two words. One is development and the other is operations. It is neither an application nor a tool. It is neither of these. It is just a culture to promote development and operation process collaboratively. As a result of the DevOps implementation, the speed to deliver applications and services, it has increased. It enables organizations to serve their customers strongly and better in the market. It is the process of alignment of IT and development operations with better and improved communication. Let's discuss the problems that led to the creation of the DevOps. DevOps before DevOps, operations and development teams were working in an isolated environment. The dev, they have no idea how the operations actually perform. Operations team, they have no idea how the development team is operating. They are operating, the both of the departments are operating on their own. And then testing and the deployment activities were performed in an isolated manner after design build step, and they took more time than actual project completion time. So once the dev has completed their development, then the testing comes, and after that the deployment comes. Dev team have no idea how the testing and the deployments are actually going on. They are just mostly considered about how they are working, and the operation team have no idea what the dev team is doing. They are only taking the code from the dev, and they are taking the code that which has been approved and putting on the production. They have no idea that how the dev is doing, what the dev is actually doing. Team members usually spend a large amount of time in deploying, testing, designing, and building the project. So each and everyone, they were performing their own tasks without any idea that what the other person or what the other team is actually doing. So there were even errors. There are human errors that used to occur while we used to deploy the manual code. For instance, while we are deploying the code to the production, we miss sometimes IT person, they have no idea, operation person have no idea, and they misses a file, and this could lead to a production issue. So these are the problems that led to the issue. So what are the challenges we face on the dev side? Code deployment time is higher. With the DevOps, this is resolved and the deployments are much faster now. Dev challenges: poor code management. They do not maintain the code properly. With the DevOps, effective code management have come into existence with the continuous integration. We have GitHub, we have Bitbucket. Earlier, there were just only we used to do our code in the editors and then just put to the FTP and put to the production. So with the DevOps, due to the continuous integration, this problem is also a result of the poor code management. All the code that we put on the production is always going through some checks, PRs. We create the production, we create the pull request on the Git, and then once the code is approved, only then that code is moved to the production. Challenges that the operation follows is uptime maintenance is difficult, because if something is down due to some code issue, they have no idea, and then they have to go to the dev person to look into that, and then the dev person debugs and verifies the issue and let the operation team know what can they do. So this problem was resolved with the help of DevOps. Automation tools were not so effective. Now the DevOps tools that we use for the automation are much effective. Server monitoring was tough, because the operation person who is monitoring the server have no idea what the application is doing and how and what it should be doing. Even there could be the chances of the ignoring of the critical issue with the operation person not knowing what the code is actually doing. But in the DevOps, it is also, we are also monitoring doing the continuous monitoring with the tools like NGOs or Splunk or the New Relic. Feedback was not given well because they have no idea what they are looking at. But now with the DevOps, we have the continuous feedback going to different channels. Traditional approach that we follow in the IT culture is dev do their work, then it goes to the next stage, and then it goes to the next stage. Everything is handled by the development team. Business requirement, software development, and the quality assurance, this comes into this part. And once it goes to the operation, and it was pushed to the production. So the dev and the production, they have no idea what is going on in their different silos. But with the DevOps, now the dev and the operation both are done by the DevOps, so they know what actually is going on through all the environments, from the dev to the SIT to the UAT to the production. This is the life cycle of the DevOps. We start with the development, then we do the integration, we do the testing, we do the monitoring, we look at the feedback, and then we do the deployment, and then this is the operations. So it is actually a continuous circle. So the things are going on and on and on and on with the help of the DevOps. We do the development and then we integrate it using the GitHub or using the Bitbucket, and then there is testing tools, automation tools that are used to test it automatically, and then there is monitoring of the servers, monitoring of the codes, and then there is feedback that we are taking, and then there is deployment, and then their operation. So this is the life cycle of the DevOps. Continuous development. Uh, in the agile, we are doing the continuous development. We have different sprints. In the each sprint, we plan our objectives and do the code requirements, and then we work on that. And as an integration, we plan the test, we do, and then we build the product. Testing is verifying that is it actually what we are going to deliver to the client. Monitoring is monitoring the output product and checking if there are any problems in the code. Continuous feedback helps in improving the current product and helps to release new versions quickly. It ensures product is deployed with maximum accuracy, automate release process, and shorter development cycles are done with the continuous operations. All these operations are done on the continuity with complete automation of the release process and allowing the organization to accelerate the overall time to market on an ongoing basis. What are the benefits? It significantly improves the product quality. It improves the performance of the software. There is minimal cost of the production. Infrastructure is reliable. There is improvement in the productivity of the organization. There are faster deployments which are helping and the faster problem solving. In the significant improvement in the product quality, with the help of the collaboration between the dev and operations, there is continuous feedback of the users, and it is put into our application, and with the help and with this we are able to improve the quality of the product. We are continuously delivering the software. We are not waiting for months to put a new change in the production. The changes with the proper collaboration, dev knows that how they can, dev knows what the costing they can cut, how they can improve the product with the minimal costing of the production. As we are doing the continuous delivery of the software, it enables the faster deployment. Continuous delivery of the software is only possible if we are ensuring the faster deployment. And with the help of DevOps, we are able to do the faster deployment. Our applications are much faster and reliable with the help of the problem-solving techniques that we use. There are lower risk as we are using the software development lifecycle, and the number of the defects gets increased across the product with the increased deployments. Our product is much more stable. Maintenance of the product is much easier. Automation in repetitive tasks leave more room for innovation. We have much more time for the innovation. We can look at that how we can improve our product more and more, and what are the changes that we can bring in the product. It promotes agility in our business. It is no secret that making your business agile can help. Agile is always helping the applications to grow. And then there's one more thing that has come recently, that is DevSecOps. We are not just DevOps, we are now DevSecOps. One of the problems that has led, one of the problems that we face in our application is security. Our application or infrastructure both have to be more secure these days, and DevSecOps is something that is helping in the to make it more secure. It is just a methodology. We are implementing the security tools, security compliances that we have to implement in our application. Developers don't always code with security in mind. They just are working on the things that they are working on the task in their hand, and they are just working on the task they are asked to perform. But they don't have normally that, okay, could it lead to a security issue? No, they might miss it. But the DevSecOps, with the DevSecOps mentality, developers are enabled with enhanced automation throughout the software. They are much able to know that what could be the security risk in my application. It is actually a mentality. They know that okay, this thing can lead to a problem, so they put a patch or make sure to close the loophole. Teams that implement DevSecOps tools and processes to integrate security in their DevOps framework will be able to release secure software much faster. Developers can test code for security and detect security flaws as code is written. Automated scans can be initiated as part of the code check-ins, build, release, and other components. So security will be actually a part of our pipelines or our life cycle. We can integrate the tools, we can integrate the testing methodology, we can integrate the automation as part of our build step, and then it will help in detecting the flaws in our application. It helps in reduction of expenses and delivery rate increases. It helps in securing, monitoring, deployment checks, and notifying systems from the beginning. It supports openness and transparency. It is secure. Application will be secure by design and ability. Faster speed of recovery in case of a security incident. If we have a security incident, and we only recover if we are already on top of it. It overall improves security by enabling immutable infrastructure with further involves security automation. And then DevOps is integrated mostly with the help of the cloud only. We have different type of clouds we'll discuss. DevOps, with the help of the cloud, we are able to easily automate our infrastructure. Automation, it is an important aspect of the infrastructure. Our infrastructure has to be automated. Our infrastructure, if our infrastructure is automated, we can very easily scale up or scale down the application. For instance, if an application, if a new business has started an application and they are not on the cloud and they don't have the DevOps integrated in their system, they will see the problems once their application goes live and there is a lot of load. Their application might go down with a huge load. If their application is on the cloud, they can easily scale up and handle the load. If the application is not on the cloud or not integrated with the DevOps policies, the application might crash, and it will lead to the loss of the business for the clients. Auto scaling is like a replication of our infrastructure. We replicate our infrastructure. For instance, we can have 10 machines operating the same code. Application will divide the load and send the request to the proper instance. So replication is only helpful with the help of DevOps and if the application is on the cloud. We can easily monitor the applications which are on the cloud. We can set up the triggers, we can set up the alarms and the various things that we can use to alarms can be triggered to make sure that our application is always on top. If there is any issue, DevOps will be consulted at that there is an issue and they can easily take a look. The orchestration is specialized way of automation. There are different type of tools that we can use to automate our infrastructure. There is Chef, there is Puppet, there is Ansible, and there are a lot of intelligent tools that we can use. With rapid development, we can use DevOps focuses on solving the infrastructure problem with the latest tools by using custom logic and writing capabilities. There are different type of clouds that we have. The most used cloud is AWS. It is most safest and it is used by a lot of organizations. There are more than 175 services in the AWS where with the help of where users are able to build their scalable applications, complicated and flexible. There are around 55 availability zones spread around all the continents. So one can experience AWS and do the hands-on using the free tier services. Some of the popular clients of the AWS are Netflix, Facebook, and the LinkedIn. AWS free tiers provide a lot of services that can be used. We can easily launch an instance. We can and test it. We do have auto scaling. We have load balancers. We can use the lambdas. There are a lot of the services that can be used by the Amazon, which can help, which do help in the day-to-day routine activities of the applications. The next cloud is Microsoft Azure. It is similar to AWS. It also have its applications. It also have its way of setting up the applications. It can be used for deploying, designing, and managing the applications throughout a worldwide network. It was previously known as Windows Azure, but now it's known as Microsoft Azure. Right now, it has 44 availability zones and 12 are more on their way. It also has a free trial we can use. Microsoft Azure is mostly used by the .NET, but the other stacks have also started using it. The popular clients are Samsung, HP, and Adobe. Then there is Google also. GCP users uses resources located at Google data centers. There are a lot of services which are provided by the Google also. It provides almost the same facilities or same services which are provided by the Azure and the AWS. Some popular clients of Azure include Target, there's Goldman Sachs, Major League Baseball, and there are a lot of other applications. So one of the most used is AWS and then Azure. We have other cloud platforms also. We have Red Hat, and there are a few others, but mostly used is AWS and Azure and the Google Cloud. Let's talk about the DevOps tools that we use. The first tool that we use is the GitHub. It is one of the most important tool and the first tool which is used. This is from where we start. We can use the GitHub, we can use the Bitbucket, we can use the GitLab. It helps in easily maintaining the code. Different teams can work on the different type of the codes and make sure the code. It helps in making sure that the code that we have in production or a different environment is up to date and right. After that, we have the Docker. It is also a tool which is used for the containerization. It has helped a lot in lately. We have Kubernetes, which is based on the Dockerization. And Kubernetes has also helped a lot of the businesses in making sure that their applications are up and always running. Then there is Jenkins. It is also a DevOps tool which helps in pushing the code from the GitHub to the actual servers. So Jenkins is type of service which is provided. Jenkins is a tool which provides a service for the continuous integration, making sure the code, once the code gets into the dev branch in the GitHub, the code gets pushed into the dev server with the help of Jenkins. Once the code is pushed in the UAT branch in the GitHub, the code gets pushed on the UAT servers with the help of the Jenkins. Once the code is pushed in the production or the branches or the tags, Jenkins helps in making sure that the code that we have in the GitHub is up to date on the servers. And then there are other tools like Nagios. Nagios helps in monitoring our infrastructure. It helps in monitoring our servers and making sure with the help of Nagios, we can monitor our logs and make sure that all the there is no issue. There is another tool, similar tool, New Relic, which is paid, but also helps in making sure of monitoring the overall health of our infrastructure. And it is one of the very important tool in our infrastructure. And then there is Slack, just for the communication between the team. And then there is one more tool, Ansible. It is one of the simplest yet effective IT orchestration. This is helpful in pushing changes within the system, as it helps in configuring the machines. With the help of the Ansible, we can configure different type of machines very easily. We can configure our infrastructure, multiple machines from one server with the help of the Ansible. As we were discussing in the Docker, Kubernetes is based on the Dockerization or the containerization. Kubernetes, it is an open source which is made by the Google, and it helps in scaling up of our infrastructure. and making sure our infrastructure is always up to date. Containerization, with the help of containerization, we can implement the microservices. With the help of a microservices, we will deploy only the code that is required on the production server. Or the only application service that we need to update. It will not affect the rest of the infrastructure, rest of the application. So Kubernetes is helping a lot of these days, and it is one of the most widely used tool. Then comes the Terraform. Normally, until some time back, we used to have in the clouds, we used to set up our machines by going to the console. We click on the EC2, we click on the start, then we select the machine, and then we used to do all the clicking and select and doing the things from the console. But with the Terraform, now the things have changed. For instance, while we are setting up one infrastructure in the AWS, if we have to set up the same infrastructure again, it will take the same time. We have set up the dev environment, it takes 4 hours, QA will take another 3 hours, UAT will take another 3 hours, and the production will take another 3 hours. But with the help of the Terraform, we have to write the code once and use the same code to set up the infrastructure. For instance, if we have set up the infrastructure using the Terraform for the dev environment in 4 hours, it will take only few minutes to set up the infrastructure for the rest of our environments. So in few minutes, we can easily set up UAT, stage, QA or production environments very easily. And the same code can be reused into the different applications. So Terraform has really helped in lately to the DevOps, and it is one of the mostly widely used tool in the DevOps. And then comes the Selenium, which is helping in the automation or in the testing of the applications. And with the help of the Selenium, we can easily make sure that the code that gets pushed to the production is bug-free. We write our code in the Selenium, and before going to the production, the test cases are run. And if the test cases are passed, only then our code will be pushed to the production. So Selenium helps in making sure that the code that has been pushed to the production is bug-free. Let's talk about what are the benefits that DevOps is bringing to the businesses. Most important, if we look at the most important aspect, is making sure that whatever we are building, it gets pushed to the production quickly. With the faster deployment, businesses, they will make sure that whatever the application and whatever the changes or whatever the new innovations they are bringing, they get pushed to the production, they could push to the clients, they get pushed to the customers very easily. It is one of the best business benefits for the DevOps that all owners understand the value of. It improves the customer experience. With the help of the DevOps, if we are pushing the solution faster, it is better able to serve business customers. In the recent studies based on advantages for the businesses, over 70% of the businesses reported customer experience improvement since implementing a DevOps program. This is clearly a huge advantage for a business, and it will definitely improve the revenue and the profits. It improve the office morale. It give a team a benefit. It give while the team is learning the DevOps, they learn through a lot of new technologies. They learn through all the Kubernetes, Terraform. They are not just bound to the one thing that they were earlier working on. If a person who is actually working on the Java or the PHP, he gets experience in the other things, and he is always motivated. When employees work together, they work together. Business and operations, they work together to improve the product. There is more time for the innovation. If we are able to push the changes on the production much faster, there is a time for the innovation. We are making sure that whatever is going to the production is bug free, and then we'll definitely have the time on our hand to make new innovations. The best companies in the world allocate time to the people to innovate, create new products, and to try out different ways of achieving better results. This is sure to help the businesses grow and expand for the long term. And the fifth benefit is faster problem solving abilities. Implementing DevOps processes allows business to solve problems quicker. Obviously, there are huge advantages to being able to problem solve faster. Problems can cost a business a lot of money. The longer it takes to fix a problem, the more money is bled from your company's coffers. When you are able to solve the problems more rapidly, you can limit business losses to get back on track sooner. If you want to improve problem solving capabilities at your organization, this is one of the best business benefits for the DevOps that cannot be. And the final thought, DevOps implementation, there are a lot of business benefits that we have gone through. This is the benefits that if you look at the diagram or the bar chart, it is clearly showing the benefits that will be in the upcoming years. And so Chris DiGionia, director of the QA at International, said on a recent podcast, DevOps is definitely here to stay. It is something that teams really need to get their hands on if they are not already working in the DevOps space. They need to scale up in order to make it. Because it's not becoming a slow paced world. We are certainly facing a faster paced world as we move forward. That's it from my side. Thank you for everyone. And those who have questions, they can message in the team's chat, and then we'll take on from here. Okay, if that's all, thank you everyone for joining today, and we'll make more sessions on how we can go ahead with the DevOps. Thank you everyone.